This comment only exemplifies why MAGA Republicans consistently vote against their own best interest. With everything that's happening right now in Arkansas, with these farmers, the fact that the MAGA Republicans are against feeding kids lunch in schools, that is something that directly benefits the farmers. But the farmers are now the ones screaming for and demanding handouts. Like, I am loving every second of this. I understand that it affects all of us. I do. When farmers, at the same time, there are those of us, and yes, it comes from a place of privilege. I'm not going to deny that. Who we saw the writing on the wall when the election happened last November. And we've made moves and done things accordingly. And we've adjusted for things because we weren't naive to the fact that all of his policies were going to hurt us, especially economically. So, yeah, I mean, these Arkansas farmers screaming about not wanting to feed other people's kids, but now they're demanding that someone feeds them is literally hilarious.
Today in Trump's America, small-town farms in Arkansas are begging for welfare. They can't sell their soybeans to China. Who knew that so many farmers were making $10,000 an acre from China? Who knew? But instead of pulling up their bootstraps, they're going for welfare. They're going for subsidies. They're going for American handouts. Just mere months after saying, we don't support welfare programs, cut Medicare, cut Medicaid, cut everything to these LGBTQIARSTUV people. Pull up your bootstraps, Arkansas. Sell something Americans want to buy. Talk to your man Donnie Darko about the Department of War, because hell, they might be coming to your town soon. He might be bringing the National Guard to Arkansas and you won't have any farmland left anyway. Look, folks, Donnie Darko is destroying America, and if you can't see it, it's a part of the Heritage Foundation, Project 2025. Go look it up. It's a blueprint. Donnie Darko is following it to a T.
If you're not living under a rock, then you have probably heard about Arkansas farmers this weekend getting together to beg the federal government for subsidies. That's right, welfare. They want money from our government to bail them out because they voted for this. This is what happens when you vote for somebody who told you what they were going to do and now they're doing it. And they want to come in and be able to buy your farms for pennies on the dollar. Sorry, but you voted for this, so these are your consequences. I don't feel sorry for you. I really don't. And you're in the find out phase. You voted for it.
Racism, misogyny, and sexism comes with a mighty cost. And it is a cost that farmers all across the state of Arkansas are currently having to pay. Folks, I want to dispel this notion that farmers in Arkansas had no idea the negative impacts that Donald Trump's tariffs could have on them. I think if I had to choose any job group in the United States that would understand tariffs, it would be farmers. They knew full well the impact that this could have on them, but they believed that in return for their vote, there would be carve-outs, there would be bailouts for them by the Trump administration from the negative effects of tariffs. And they've yet to receive that from the Trump administration. So this idea that they didn't see this coming or that farmers are just stupid is a fallacy. They knew full well what they were voting for, but they expected to be exempt. And I think that's the case for a lot of people right now that are being negatively impacted by Donald Trump's policies. And they voted for him because they thought that they would be exempt. Sexism, misogyny, and racism comes with a cost. And it's a cost you better be willing to bear, especially if that's going to be the sole reason you vote for an individual.
So I made a video a few months ago about the farmers in Nebraska, and I must have had a lot more sympathy back then because I was cheering for them. Well, now these farmers in Arkansas, I don't care. I don't care what happens. They keep going on TV and crying and saying that they're not going to be able to afford the farm and all this stuff. Well, guess what? Sell your farm, sell it to a big corporation because this is what you did. You voted for this. Honestly, you voted for this. The man has one economic policy, and that's tariffs. What happened last time? What happened last time? We had to bail you guys out, right? That's what happened? Well, what did you think was going to happen this time? Did you think he was just going to do his tariffs and we were going to bail you out again? He doesn't care about you guys. And I'm sure you guys were walking around a couple months ago going, yeah, we voted for this. This is what we want. Yeah, we voted for all this. Yeah. We're not going to bail you out every time you make a mistake. I have no sympathy for people who don't try to help themselves. And you thought nothing bad was going to happen to you because you voted for him, you're his fan, and he was going to take care of you. Guess what? He doesn't give a shit about you.
Alright folks, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for always come back to watch our video. I always appreciate your support. Now, right now, as we talk, there is a total breakdown to these MAGA farmers, particularly to Arkansas MAGA farmers who are now, requesting for handouts. They are requesting the government for handouts. And then their soybeans farmers, they don't have market, which they used to have. Listen, China used to take 60 to 70% of their soybean. But right now, soybean farmers in Arkansas, they don't have market and their soybeans is ready. Now, this is a total breakdown, total meltdown to these MAGA voters because they voted against their own interest. They hate themselves to the extent where they vote against their own interest. Man, it's so strange and very hard to understand. Many people are not getting it. Why these people should do this? Why they should vote against their own interest? Why, they don't care about their life? Why they don't care about, their farms? Because right now they are claiming that DT is destroying their farm, but it's not DT, it's themselves. They are destroying themselves because the guy have showed you what he's going to do. The guy have, cleared. He brought the project 2025, but you guys, you didn't want to read. You've never cared about it. For you just wanted to vote, and then you voted. But everything he said, it is there. You should have read carefully and know exactly what this guy is going to do. That's why Arkansas farmers right now are having a total breakdown because they don't know their next step. And their next step is to sell their farms because, listen, there are people who are ready to take up your farm.
Arkansas farmers fucked around and they're finding out. I don't celebrate Arkansas farmers losing their farms, but actions have consequences. They overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump, and now they're finding out that racism, culture wars, and blind loyalty do not put food on the table. They don't. They actually cost you everything. And that now they're asking the government for a bailout. They're asking them for a handout. But I thought MAGA and the Republicans didn't believe in socialism, didn't believe in programs, didn't believe in handouts. They overwhelmingly said no to student loan forgiveness. And now they're asking, for money from the government. Hell no. You fucked around, you're going to find out. You made your bed, you're going to lay on it. You're going to go to sleep on it. And hopefully you have one in the morning. But the way it's looking, many farmers are going to lose their farms in 2025 and 2026. They fucked around and they're finding out. And, Kamala Harris had a plan for them, but they voted for this guy. Good luck. Good luck.
I've been thinking about all of these farmers in Arkansas who are finding out that their votes matter. Your prayers don't. Jesus has got to be so confused because a few months ago they were praying to protect Donald Trump and to make sure that he was elected president. And now they are praying to Jesus that Donald Trump changes his mind and gives them a bailout. Like Donald Trump showed up in the middle of your fucking farms and told you exactly what he was going to do. I'm going to deport everybody in this country. And that didn't make your alarms go off? To think, wait a second, I have a bunch of illegal immigrants who are working my farms. This would not be good business for me. Maybe I should vote for somebody else. No, I'll vote for Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump sat there and said, I'm going to cut foreign aid to any foreign country. And you guys thought he was only talking about Ukraine because you guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. No, he was talking about everybody. He cut the whole department. That was your number one customer. And then your number two customer is China that he decided to put tariffs on. So now China told us all to fuck off and they're buying their soybeans elsewhere. I'll be darned. You guys just got what you asked for. Fuck. The only way you can undo this is to join our chorus once and for all, us liberals, who told you all along that this was going to fuck everything up for everybody. You guys are just the first few to start finding out. We're all going to get screwed here. So anyway, the solution here is for you guys to speak the fuck up and go tell your elected representatives that if they don't grow a backbone quick and start standing up to Donald Trump and undoing this bullshit, you're not going to re-elect them. And then it doesn't matter who's gerrymandering, because if enough people get fucked by the Trump administration, then you guys are going to have to start voting for the alternative to your Republicans. That means you got to start voting for Democrats. And there's so many people in this country who would rather vote against themselves than vote for a fucking Democrat. Introducing farmers in Arkansas. You guys just voted against yourselves. No liberal tears for you guys. Fuck around and you find out. Join the chorus and stand up to this bullshit, and let's bring it to an end. In the meantime, your prayers aren't going to work, but your votes just did. Learn that lesson first.
Right now, MAGA voters in Arkansas are facing harsh reality because right now they're requesting for handout. They're requesting for government to help because they no longer have money to run the farm. Those are the farmers. They no longer have the market they used to have. So the tariffs and trade wars has made these farmers to suffer a lot, and they are the one who voted this. Listen, the MAGA movement focus was on the trade protectionism and tariffs, particularly with China. Remember, they celebrated that they are punishing China. So it has directly harmed Arkansas farmers. These tariffs have led to retaliatory measures such as China reducing or halting purchase of US soybeans, a major crop for Arkansas. Remember that. So imagine these Arkansas farmers going and vote to punish China, and they know exactly China is their market. Now, even if you're a baby of 2 years old, you should understand this. So these are not young, they are not babies, so that they cannot understand that this China is a dearest market to us. We cannot lose this market. But for them, they went ahead and lost the market. They didn't care. They thought they are doing well. They thought they are doing well economically. Now, this has caused a significant drop in soybeans prices. That's the first thing, because if you no longer that 60 to 70% or market of China, you're going to lose the price. The price is going to go down. Now, leaving the farmers with a surplus product and the loss of crucial markets, the promised benefits of this trade wars have not materialized, and the financial pain is very real. So right now, what they are feeling is the pain. They are sad. But remember, a few months ago, they were enjoying. They were celebrating. We're going to punish China. China will not do it again. We're going to show China that we're the best. But now, let me ask you, are you making it great? I know, farmers, you are used to go always requesting for bailouts. It's not the first time, not the second time. It means you always do bailouts. It's like, you don't care. But right now, it's not time of bailouts. You guys, you did it by yourself. So it means no one is caring about you. You guys, there is no sympathy for you because few months ago you had chance to keep that market. You had chance to do it, but you've never used that chance. For you, what you did, you ignored. The guy told you he's going to do it. He put that in action, and right now it is affecting you. So who is here to blame? It's you guys, because you did it. So the financial pain, you have to feel it. Yes, whatever you did, there is consequences. Let me tell you, each and everything you do, there is consequences, whether bad or good, but there is consequences. Now they are facing bad consequences because people are not ready to support you. I'm telling you, people are not ready to support you because they're tired of you guys. You've been requesting for bailouts many times. So no one is caring about your bailouts. No one is caring about your suffering because people have told you, you never listened. You didn't care. You were like, we don't care. But right now you want people to care about your businesses while you didn't care. Man, it's so crazy. While you voted to deport immigrants who were supporting you, and now you're requesting for workers to work in your farms. Man, it's something easy to understand. Even a baby, a child can understand this. But it is so hard for you to understand. You went ahead to cut the essential USDA programs. And you know exactly that USDA was for you. It was helping you. So the DT's administration effort to reduce government spending, okay, have targeted agencies and programs vital to farmers, okay. The freezing of some USDA programs, a near shutdown of spending by USAID, for example, have cut off funding for food assistance and other initiatives that create a market for American agriculture product. So these cuts have had a tangible impact, reducing demand for adding financial pressure. If you guys have read Project 2025, you should have known exactly what the plan of this guy. Right now, you are destroying your state, which totally based on the farming. Okay? You no longer have the market. You know exactly China was your dearest client. You've never cared. For you wanted war. So don't blame people that they have brought trade wars, because you're the one who started it. You're the beginning of it. Because if you don't play part in it, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have been like this. You wouldn't have been suffering like this. You'd have held your market. But right now you don't have that market. So how Arkansas is going to survive if you don't have that soybean market from China? Because China have moved. It have shifted. Now, after voting those tariffs, farmers, you are facing a skyrocketing for cost essentials. Inputs like fertilizer, fuel, equipment, all those things have skyrocketed because of your tariffs you voted. So you guys, you know exactly that you were using those things. And you didn't know, or you didn't care, or researched the tariffs. You're the one who is going to pay that tax. Because you're the consumer. So it means if you put tariffs on China, it is going also to retaliate. So the product you get from China, from Mexico, from everywhere is going to have that tax. So you don't want to pay that tax, but you've never cared. That's why your input cost is high. You know, it is a lot, because whatever you put in your farm is going to take you a lot of money, and you're going to raise the prices of your farm produce, which no one is ready to buy. You see how it's so difficult? From the tariffs, trade wars and everything. Man, you guys, you've messed everything. Even the government was supporting you, but right now it's no longer. You no longer have that support because now you are scared of going bankrupt. So this combined pressure, significant of Arkansas farmers, are facing the very real possibility of bankruptcy. Reports from agriculture organization and local news outlets indicate that without emergency aid, a substantial portion of the state farmers could be forced to close their doors. This is a devastating prospect for multi-generational farm families who have dedicated their lives to the land. Now, let me tell you good news. If you declare bankrupt, there are people who are ready to buy your farms because they know exactly these things would happen. They know exactly what you were about to do. After you voted, they know exactly that these things is going to be revealed. Right now, they're going to buy your farms because you're no longer able to keep that farm. You don't have money. So if you don't get government support, if you don't get aid, how are you going to keep your farm? Imagine you've been keeping that farm for more than decades, 5 decades, more than that. You've been keeping that farm. It's a family farm. You guys, you dedicate your life to farming. But right now, you're facing harsh reality. Right now, you're facing harsh reality. You're about to lose that farm. Man, that's the story that is happening to Arkansas farmers right now. They gathered, they want government to support them, but I'm not sure it will happen because also the government want to cut the spendings. They want to cut the money that goes, wherever they don't know. So it remains those farmers, they have little chance to get government aid. And that's what they're requesting. You don't have market, you don't have aid, tariffs you've put it is affecting you because you're buying the inputs at higher cost. So you guys, You're the one who brought all this. But again, ask the question, are you making it great? Like the way you are celebrating, you know? Because if the way you are enjoying, I hope right now you are realizing that, man, we did wrong. You really did wrong. It's not even a 1 year. But you guys, you started finding out. You started seeing the effects of your action. You've started seeing, many, many things that is affecting you guys. All right, folks, thank you so much for reaching at this point of the video. Tell me in the comment section what do you think about these farmers. Let's keep a conversation there. I am your presenter, Fikas.